Hello, this is Javan with Crossworks Media Podcast. On today's episode, it's just going to be me. My co-host Clayton is on vacation, so we're just going to be hitting up some current events and talking about them and discussing. So our first story comes from the Daily Wire, and it's most top Biden officials have 0 years of business experience. The Biden administration is led by lawyers, academics, and community organizers, but a few business leaders, a report from the Committee to Unleash Prosperity recently revealed. According to the conservative think tank, the top 68 individuals in administration have spent an average of 2.4 years in the business world, with only 1 in 8 boasting extensive business experience. The median length of business experience for Biden's official is 0. So this is something you get when you, what is it called? A diversity hire, I think it's called. So when you're only hiring people for diversity reasons, this is what happens. Look at Kamala Harris. Absolute one of the worst politicians ever in history. And she was a diversity hire. Automatically Biden came out and said he's going to be hiring a woman of color. And so that instead of hiring the best person you can for the job, it's all about diversity and inclusion. So that's a big problem throughout the government nowadays. You got the Supreme Court. Automatically, Biden once again said, I'm going to be nominating a Supreme Court justice of color. So and most of these people are dumber than rocks. You know what I'm saying? These recent January 6th hearing, stuff, and abortion rights hearings, you got people asking, like, what is a woman? And they can't answer these questions. They're dumb. They're like, oh, you're a transphobe. Well, you know what? Like, listen, trans people don't exist. Okay? It's not a thing. You're either a man or a woman, okay? Either way. So the term trans people or trans, it's not a thing. It doesn't mean anything. So yeah, that's what we have going on with all these stupid hearings and stuff. Is it's more downfall of the United States. Honestly, it's going down so hard. The country's so divided. Nobody can agree on anything. You have this abortion situation, Roe v. Wade situation being overturned, is straight up dividing the country in insane ways. People are becoming more polarized. People are starting to they're hating each other over this stuff. And there's no middle ground, because there can't be a middle ground necessarily, or not necessarily, but theoretically it's almost impossible to have a middle ground, because people on the right, like me, we don't think abortion should be legal at all, and people will be like, an ectopic pregnancy is the treatment is an abortion. And it's like, no, an ectopic pregnancy, the fetus, the child it's not a viable baby. It will die, and the mother will die. So yes, the abortion we're talking about is that you have a baby that will be viable, that has the possibility of being viable, and you're snuffing out that life. You're killing that child. And an ectopic pregnancy, there's no viability there. It's impossible for the baby ever to be viable. So, and this kind of leads into my next point or topic, is that they talked about the 10-year-old girl that got raped, and how that she couldn't get an abortion and all that stuff. So let me see if I can find 10-year-old Ohio. Okay, a Columbus man has been charged with impregnating a 10-year-old Ohio girl whose travel to Indiana to seek an abortion led to international attention following the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade and the activation of Ohio's abortion law. So apparently there was this girl who got raped, 10 years old, by this Gerson Fuentes of 27 years old. And that's horrible. That is horrible. This man should be sent to prison. He should be punished to the full extent of the law. So apparently, so this girl was trying to get an abortion, or she wasn't even trying to get an abortion. They just brought her straight to Indiana, and didn't even try to go to the abortion clinic. Yeah. So yeah, a 10-year-old rape victim traveled from Ohio to Indiana for abortion services after most abortions became illegal in her home state. The account was attributed to Dr. Caitlin Bernard, an Indianapolis physician who provides abortion services. The story went quickly viral, appearing in the top outlets across the globe, and became a top talking point for abortion rights supporters, including President Joe Biden. So, the thing is that in Ohio, this would be threatening the life of this this girl. She's 10 years old. To be able to carry a pregnancy at 10 years old it's life threatening. This is not something that's meant to happen, and it's rare for a 10-year-old even to get pregnant. It's horrible. I mean, this is a horrible situation. So, yeah. So, anyways, this is the left. This is the left trying to push these narratives that look what's going on. This is terrible. This is what happens when you make abortion illegal. All these terrible things, and they're fleeing and they're being refugees to other states. So once again, just the left trying to play narratives in order to push their agenda. They're so bent out of shape about this that they're going to do anything to try and get abortion rights, federally protected again, and if not, amend the Constitution. Their end game is to try and Their end game is to try and amend the Constitution so that they can have an actual right to abortion. So that's pretty sad, The downfall of the Republic is coming, boys. So it looks like, on a good news, or a good thing we can look at here is that Twitter suspends the group that published the Supreme Court justice's address. I'm actually surprised that they did this, and it's good that they did, because you know what, it's literally doxing people. If not illegal, should be illegal, especially the Supreme Court. It is illegal to try sway the opinion of a judge through protesting all this stuff, and they never did anything to stop it. And to show that the fact that Twitter has suspended the Ruth Sent Us, an account, it shows us that if we keep pushing, we keep trying to win this culture war, we have to keep pushing. That's what this shows us. The fact that woke Twitter, banned this account, shows us that we're actually doing something. Or not banned the account, but suspended the account. My bad. So, this is another win for us. And we have to keep winning. All right, and for our last story, I know this is kind of short, but we're just going to have to deal with it, I guess. I'm trying, rather. So, inflation has hit 9.1%. That's insane. So 9.1%. This is inflation right here is the fastest rise since 1981. Okay, so what does this mean? Higher inflation for the average American. This means the cost to buy your food, gas, etc., all cost more money. And your employer, like I work for a company, and now we do construction, so now all the costs for materials cost more. Okay, and they have to sell the house for more, and people need to borrow more money, but what happens is with the inflation, or not the inflation rate, the interest rates, people can't borrow more money. Okay, so people are paying more for the same exact house. And people are like, well, you might be wondering, like, how come, people just don't make more money? Well, you can't really do that, because it takes time in order for, in a couple years, if the inflation rate slows down, yeah, it'll catch up, it'll self-correct. But the problem is it takes time to self-correct. So we're through that. We're in that period right now where it's going to take some time to self-correct. So if you have money, this is what I do. You don't have to listen to me. It's not financial advice or anything, but if I were you guys, because this is what I did. I went to Costco. I bought a couple bags of chicken. I bought some hamburgers. We bought some meat. We have quite a bit of chicken. I bought some sardines, buying some canned food because you're buying this for the future, and this stuff lasts forever. And then I bought a bunch of rice, oats, flour, sugar, and I got these Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers, and I filled all these bags up, and I sealed these Mylar bags up with these oxygen absorbers, and then you take like a straightening iron and you heat the top of it, and it like compresses them, like melts them together, and the oxygen absorbers work like almost like a vacuum sealer, and it sucked all the air out. And so now I have some food. The rice should be shelf stable for 25 years. Okay, and it's cheap. It's way cheaper than buying those buckets of food. The buckets, obviously, you have convenience, but go out, buy some food. Make sure you have plenty of food for you and your family. Make sure, if you stop getting in debt. It's not the time to buy a car. It's not the time to buy a house if you don't need one. Okay? I was talking, my people are around me, family is like, hey, should I buy this car for $18,000? Absolutely not. You should not buy that car for $18,000. Okay? Like, it's outrageous. The prices are through the roof. Stop buying them. You want to cut prices? Stop giving them money. People charge more money, partially due to inflation, but people are still paying for these outrageous prices. You go to a restaurant and it's like, that's super expensive. Well, guess what you do? You stop shopping there. The restaurant might go out of business. It might not. They're going to have to lower the prices, or this food better be stinking good. You know what? It's kind of a side rant. All the restaurants, everyone is slow. Nobody cares about their job. I went to Dunkin's today, okay? I paid $3.50 for an iced coffee. I expect a good iced coffee. It doesn't even have to be perfect. Just good enough. It was the most bitterest, nastiest thing I've ever drank. The thing was so disgusting. I was so upset. So I grabbed the thing and I just hucked it on the ground. Blew open. My guys at work were like, why'd you do that? And I'm like, dude, this thing was so nasty. So I put the trash in the garbage, don't worry. But it's stuff like that. And, you go into these stores and everyone's just so slow. It's just irritating. These people, they don't care about their jobs. They don't want to work. And you know what? When the tough time comes, the people who don't want to work, the people that don't show any effort, they don't care. You're going to get fired first, okay? They're going to kick you out. They're going to keep the people who want to work. And you know what? If I have to pay a little bit of more money to get a superb experience, I'm willing to do that. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired and going into these restaurants and the waitress and waiters just suck at their job. They don't care. The food comes out cold. It's unacceptable. You're giving these places a decent amount of cash, okay? Just like that coffee. It is unacceptable to be given trash after paying money for stuff. It's just ridiculous. But you know what? America, and myself included, guilty. You go in and you buy it anyways. And they have no incentive to change. And it was, we have a gas station QT around here, and they were just, and they're usually fast. But once again, slowly and slowly they become worse and worse. And the kids around here, one kid at this QT gas station, huck-a-bucking with his buddies, taking forever, and it's just irritating. It's the downfall of America, People get paid more money than they're worth. So, I don't know, folks. But That's kind of my rant right there. Is people suck at their job, and we almost need a recession in order to fix it. So, well, I hope I did good in this recording. Any constructive criticism, go ahead and let me know. I don't ever edit on this Audacity. Clayton usually does it, so if it sucks, I'm sorry. So, anyways, thank you very much for listening. We will not be having an episode coming out on Monday because Clayton's being gone. So it'll just be this episode for this week. We'll catch you again next week, probably on Thursday. So thank you very much.